those faces. I'm driving home for Christmas, yeah. Well, I'm moving down that line, and it's been so long, but I will be there. I'll sing this song to pass the time away. Driving in my car, driving home for Christmas.
Right, well, good evening, viewers. Welcome to St Mary's Church, and we're here with the Rev.Chris Savage, who's come across from Basingstoke to see us this evening. Chris, what's going on this evening?
Well, Alan, tonight is actually quite historic. It's the first carol service ever for the Andover District Chamber of Commerce and the Association of Andover Industries. Now, you say I've come from Basingstoke. As industrial chaplain, I cover Andover as well as Basingstoke, being industrial chaplain in North Hampshire. And I work very closely with the commercial organisations in the town, and those two organisations are working closely together. And tonight's the first time they're having a social and a carol service to boot.
I hope they're all in good voice this evening.
Oh, I think they are. If they sing as well as they speak, we've got no problems. We brought the Bishop of Basingstoke over, whose area this covers, and my industrial mission group is involved here. They'll be one of the readers. The other readers will be representatives of both organisations.
St Mary's is quite a splendid church, isn't it, really? I used to sing here when I was a little weenie, many years ago.
Well, we haven't got time to bring that out in the sermon, you'll pass, Alan, but I think it'll be rather very good. But isn't it lovely you can remember that, because at Christmas time particularly, the church evokes so many memories for people, and it's a splendid building, and they're very helpful, and we've had many services here.
I'm glad they didn't knock it down, because it was rumoured a few years ago they were going to knock this place down.
Well, no, what you can do with a building like this is adapt it. It is, as you can see, very important for the town. There was a carol service here an hour ago, and it's used extensively.
Okay, splendid. Well, we'll catch up with a few carols going on, and hopefully talk to you later.
constabulary always have purges on vehicles.
Yeah.
The least little thing they will stop you for. I mean, they're not being nasty, they're just doing their job.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt, before you go off on a journey, or at least once a week, check the vehicle lights around and make sure they're all working. And that also includes the number plate illumination light and fog lights, which people tend to forget about. One other thing that's, if you're going on journeys during the winter, it always pays to carry a selection of bulbs that fit the vehicle. So if you do have a light go out on the side of the road, you can always get it replaced easily without endangering people by driving along with just one headlight.
Yeah.
Not only is it endangering yourself because you cannot see adequately where you're going, with just one headlight coming towards people, it can be very distracting.
Yeah.
People cannot judge the width of the vehicle, and silly people do silly things. They think, oh, that's a cyclist or whatever, and they try to overtake, and then lo and behold, there's a car straight in front of them.
Yeah.
So it pays just to carry a selection of bulbs, stop lights, indicators, side lights, headlight bulbs. I mean, it's not a vast expense. You can just keep it in a little box in the glove compartment. They're there with you all the time.
The other thing is that there's a bit of a purge on tyres. I see this the constabulary going around checking tyres at various spots.
Yes, yes. It's another important item of the vehicle, especially in the winter. The tyres on the car need to be in good condition. Basically, when you've got a lot of water on the road, if the tread depth is inadequate, then the vehicle is literally lethal to be on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, go into a corner too fast, brake too hard, the car just aquaplanes. It sits on top of the water and slides. And once it starts doing that, there's nothing you can do about it. You're in dire straits. So it pays to keep a good check on the condition of the tyres. On that I mean the condition of the side walls of the tyres, to make sure there are no bad cuts, splits or cracks. The tyre tread depth, and also the tyre pressures, because they are all very important. I mean, there's a classic example here of a tyre which really and truly is no good. Although it's got reasonable tread on that side of the tyre, as you can see, as it comes towards the inside of the tyre, the tread is disappearing.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's done.
And you're getting down to bald areas on the tyre. Now, it's a classic example of a car being run with the tracking out.
Yeah.
And the problem is, because it's on the inside of the tyre, 9 times out of 10 when people have a quick cursory look round the tyres, they don't necessarily see the inside wall.
Yeah.
So the thing to check on the front suspension when you're going to have a look at the tyres is turn the steering on a full lock, have a look at the inside edge, just to make sure that it is okay. And if you're in any doubt whatsoever, just pop your car along to a local garage or tyre centre. Just get them to check the depth of the tread. I mean, it's a simple enough thing. I don't know whether or not they would charge you. I can't honestly say. I know I wouldn't bother to charge a customer if they came in, but I mean, just to have a quick look at their tyres to let them know that they are going to be safe for the winter. Literally 5 minutes and they're off again. So, I mean, it's a simple thing to do. But
It could save your life.
it could save your life. It can also save you a lot of money and a court case.
You're saying about with the winter coming in and the snow and the ice on that, if you do have a breakdown, there's a few little hints to have there, isn't it?
Well, yes. The other problem that a lot of vehicles suffer with during the winter is as soon as the cold weather gets here, the battery dies. It's not an expensive item, but I mean, you could buy yourself a cheap set of jump leads, which are a handy thing to keep in the vehicle. I mean, if you're stuck in somewhere like one of the car parks in town, you go out, you turn the key, nothing happens. I mean, 9 times out of 10, there will usually be a kind Samaritan around that will give you a jump start off of their car. But the thing is, if you haven't got any equipment to couple up to it, then you're wasting your time anyway. Jump leads. Easy enough thing to get hold of. You can buy these anywhere. If you're in a situation where the battery is dead flat and you need to get a jump start off of somebody, the thing that you want to make sure is that you couple the battery up the right way on both vehicles. It's easy enough to do. Your red lead is always the live lead, and that goes to the positive side of the battery, which is the side of the battery that is usually got either a red lead to it, or the battery should be marked with a cross, which indicates the positive side of the battery.
Right.
So the positive lead goes onto the positive terminal, and the black negative lead goes onto the earth terminal of the battery. Okay?
Right.
Likewise, when you're coupling up to the other car, they go on exactly the same way around.
Yeah.
And if the battery has gone down considerably, there are two ways that you can sort this out. You either need to couple it up to the other vehicle and have the engine running on a fast tick over for a few minutes before you try and start it, because you need to get a certain amount of charge back into the battery.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Otherwise, all that's going to happen is you will discharge the battery you're connected to straight into this one.
So there's two of you stuck in the
and you'll
side.
drain both of them down.
Right.
Alternatively, when you couple up to the other vehicle, instead of coupling the earth lead to the earth side of the battery, put it onto the engine somewhere where it makes a good earth, making sure that what you've connected it to isn't connected to rubber or anything, because you need to get an adequate earth. By doing that on that way round, you're putting a positive charge straight into that side of the battery.
Oh, I see.
But you're actually earthing through the vehicle engine, and what it will do then is it will allow more power to go through the battery rather than trying to recharge the cells.
I see, yeah. Well, that's a new one. I never heard of that
Yeah,
one before.
it's an easy way of overcoming the problem that if the battery is dead flat,
Yeah.
that you don't spend time trying to charge that one up before you can actually turn it over, because you'll find that you'll get a direct feed straight off of the other battery.
Yeah.
Like I said, otherwise, if you couple it up that way round, run the engine for sort of 2 or 3 minutes off of the other vehicle that's on a fast tick over, just to get some life into that battery, and then try and start your own vehicle, but making sure that you've turned everything off, like the lights and heater blower and things like that, to give it a fair chance.
Yeah, great. The other thing you were saying about always take the blanket in the back of your car.
It's another very useful thing, Tony. I mean, if you're unfortunate enough to get broken down in very bad weather, we all know what it's like. If the weather gets exceedingly bad, there's a lot of breakdowns on the road. The emergency services get snarled up, the AA, the RAC, your local garages, they're all out on a lot of breakdowns. You could be stuck on the side of the road for some time. If you've got people in the car with you, small children or elderly people, or even just an average person like yourself and me.
I'm pretty young.
You know what it's like when you sit in a car for any length of time in the winter. It gets really, really cold. So, you know, just a normal picnic blanket or something like that thrown in the boot that you can wrap around yourself, or just a thick coat or something adequate that will keep you warm. Because there's nothing worse than sitting on the side of the road with a broken down vehicle. That's bad enough, but when you sit there and freezing to death as well, it's even worse.
Right. Well, that's Tony. And don't forget, he's up in Charlton Road behind Road Garage. And Tony, thanks very much, and hope we can come along again and do some more tips with you.
Sure, no problem at all. Okay,
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
This is Town TV, watch it!
Well, Merry Christmas, Andover. Hope you're enjoying this week's show. Look at it, 10 to 9 in the morning. Here we are in Andover High Street. It's a Friday before Christmas, and still pretty chilly. We've been working all night, and people say to me sometimes, what do you wear those glasses for? Well, I tell you what, if you worked on Town TV the hours we do, round the clock, 10 to 9 in the morning on a Friday, perhaps you'd probably say put them back on again, because your eyes tend to go after a while. You're editing and you're filming, and Steve's doing the camera work, aren't you, Steve? Very busy.
Very busy, yeah. Especially this time of year. And with Christmas trees and everything like that, we have to go filming them, you see.
We're getting in the Christmas spirit of things already, aren't we? Well, almost. But anyway, morning Andover, here we are. What's next? Oh, I tell you what's next. Do you remember the Christmas tree competition last year? That was good fun, wasn't it? With all the little... No, it wasn't much fun. Oh, was it? Oh. In fact, well, if you remember the Christmas tree competition, we'll bring you that in a minute. But Steve's just reminded me that we had this very famous Andover guy in, who you probably don't know. His name's John Deacon. Now, John did a song for GMTV about a year and a bit ago, and the producer liked it so much that he became successful in England and in Ireland. And in Ireland more especially, I think he's had a #1 record. Well, Tony Murray had a little chat with him in our studio. So we'll bring you the results. I think you'll find this is a really fascinating story. Anyway, over to Tony Murray and John Deacon.
I saw a rainbow bleeding in the evening sky, orange and red and indigo and blue, and a gypsy wind crept sadly through the dying leaves, and all of this reminded me of you.
Well, I couldn't afford to get him a present, so just wanted to have his name put on telly.
In that wonderland of which you used to sing.
They passed me on to the producer, and she was talking to me, and I said, could you wish my dad a happy Christmas? And she said, what can your dad do? And he said, he can sing.
I'm not used to studios. I've never been in the studio before until I recorded the song. And I try to put as much feeling into the song as I possibly can, which portrays, you know, the fall of Julie Garland and the pressure that she was under.
Sanctified and celluloid, you went your merry way.
I'm still a dad, and I still have to do the washing, the cleaning, the cooking, and all the jobs that goes with being a dad.
Until at last.
John Deacon. Now, who is John Deacon? I don't know. What's he got to do with Andover? Why is he on the Andover show? Let's find out. John, why has all this thing happened to you now?
Well, basically, I have relations in Andover, mother-in-law and lots of relations like that, cousins and everything. And a year ago, last July, my wife and me split up, and I become a one-parent family. I live in Folkestone, in fact, not in Andover, but that's quite simply because of the position I was left in with 4 children, because I had to go on income support. And it was tough going. I was a hotel manager in Folkestone. Then I had to give my job up to look after my kids. I've got 1 boy and 3 girls, and basically on income support, struggling to pay bills and everything like that, and on £80 a week, nothing going for me. And then at Christmas, about this time of the year, my kids come to me and said, Dad, can we have some money to buy you a Christmas present? And I said, yes. Well,
no, sorry, they asked you for the money to buy
me a Christmas present, see? And I said, well, I'm really sorry, kids. I said, I'm sorry, don't buy me one. I said, I'm struggling enough to buy you one. I said, on £80 a week and pay the bills and buy the food and that. Anyway, they weren't too happy with that, I don't think, because they went away and had a think to themselves, and they got this idea of ringing GMTV and asking would they wish their dad happy Christmas. They rung right through, got through right to the producer behind my back, and it appears the producer said to Charlotte, can your daddy do anything? She said, oh yeah, Dad can sing. So yeah, indeed. And she said, well, professionally, semi-professionally? She said, oh, well, no, in the bath and around at home and that. You know, Dad used to be a hotel manager before, you know, he went on income support to look after us. So she said, well, don't tell Daddy. I'll ring Daddy up tomorrow morning and surprise him. So I took the kids to school, and I made a cup of tea when I got in from the school and a bit of toast, and that sat down, and the phone rung. This woman says, hello, is that John Deacon? I said, yes, it is. She said, well, I'm Heather Jo, and I'm the producer at GMTV, and I know everything about you, John, from your children. And I'm ex-directory on the phone, so I thought it was an automatic wind-up that someone was joking around. And she told me a lot of things, what we'd gone through and everything like that. And I then realised that this woman did know a lot about me. And she said, all I want you to do is just sing for me down the phone. Will you do that for me?
On the phone?
On the phone, exactly. I mean, you must be asked some funny things in your life, but never to sing down a phone. And I said, well, OK. I said, what do you want me to sing? She said, well, anything. So I said, well, I think what came into my head was Love Changes Everything. And I said, well, OK, I'll give you a bit of that. And she said, go on, you just go ahead. So there I was, standing with a phone, singing down this phone. And after a few lines, she said, stop. So I said, why, what's the matter? She said, you're on GMTV next Tuesday. He said, with a voice like that,
as quick as that?
As quick as
Just
that.
over the phone?
Straight over the phone, as quick as that.
Amazing.
And then I found myself whisked off to London. This would be the Monday before Christmas, the 20th of December last year, with the 4 children. We stayed in the Drury Lane Hotel in Drury Lane. Next morning, taken off to the studio, and I was on the show singing to about 3 million people. With Paul McKenna, you know.
How did you feel about that? Were you
very nervous? What made it worse was I felt bad enough. You know, the old legs were shaking, hands and that. But when you're in GMTV, obviously that's a wall behind where they sit. There's not really a window there. And I was standing behind the back, and one of the sound editors was there with me. She said, "Don't worry about it, John. There's only about 3.5 million people watching you." God, I really didn't need that, like, you know. And after anyway, I got through this song, and to be honest, I was quite glad it was over, you know, after. But once you've done it once, you want to do it again. It's a hell of a buzz, like, to be able to do that.
It's a bit of a drug.
It is, you know. And after I come off the show, Radio Kent, Sussex, Surrey, and Victor Radio, right up as far as Shropshire, mainly BBC stations, wanted me to go and sing on their radio stations, which I did. And then I had this funny...
Did you sing unaccompanied?
Unaccompanied, just grabbed a microphone and just sung, you know, nothing, no musicians or anything with me. And then I had a strange situation because people kept ringing in and saying, "We want to hear this man more," like. And I had to go back all over them again then, and back to Radio Kent, Sussex, Surrey, and back over them all again. And then Woman's Realm done a story on me in last April.
Woman's Realm
magazine.
Right.
And then out of that, Radio 4, BBC Radio 4, Woman's Hour, Julie Murray's show, wanted me to go on her programme up at BBC, Broadcasting House, on May Day, which I did. And I went out there, and it was a hell of a thing to be up at BBC, you know, to be singing in BBC, and people... You know,
were you still unaccompanied then?
Still unaccompanied, yeah, nobody with me. And out of that, because I'm of Irish descent, my mum was Irish.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's very good.
Double about it.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. So, of course, a lot of my life I've been over and backwards and forwards, going over to Ireland and what have you. And I didn't realise it, but there was a researcher for Kenny Live, an Irish TV programme, listening, you know that one. And I got back to folks, and the phone rang. She said, "Hi, John, I just heard your interview on Radio 4. So I said, "Oh, thank you." She said, "Well, I'm Catherine Cahill, and I'm a researcher for Kenny Live, and what are you doing on the 13th of May? I said, "No." She said, "Well, you are now, because we're going to fly you out to Ireland, give you a week's holiday down in Kerry with your people, but before that we want you to come and sing on Kenny Live for us. And you can bring the kids, and we'll put you in the Montrose Hotel in Dublin." So we flew over, and then I found myself singing.
That's where I had my wedding reception.
Was it?
The Montrose Hotel.
Nice place.
Yes.
Very impressed with that. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, we will later on. And then I found myself going into RTE and all the big stars there, and all of a sudden she said, "Well, by the way," she said, "while you're singing, you're on with Sean Bean tonight, the actor." I couldn't believe it, like, you know, because we've seen him in Sharp and Woman's Guide to Adultery and all the big films and shows that he's been in. And there I was with him and Colin Meaney, who was in Star Trek, and Paul McGrath, the Irish footballer, was on the same show. Anyway, we come off of that, and we went down to Kerry, and I done Kerry Radio, Limerick Radio, Cork, and all around. And we come back, and, you know, we just took it as it come, really. It was just so nice to be able to go home again and see all my folks and that at home. Come back, and then the phone rang again. It was an Irish record company called Cross Border Media Records, a man called Oliver Sweeney. And he said, "I was very impressed with your voice on GMTV." He said, "But now I've heard it on Kenny Live, you've made my mind up for me. I'm going to send you over 2 songs I want you to learn. One is Lament for Julie Garland, one is called Supermarket Wine."
Who wrote these?
A man called Mickey McConnell. He actually
are they recent songs? They're new songs?
They're new songs, yeah. They've never been recorded before. Yeah. And he comes from a place called Listowel, which is in County Kerry.
Right, I know it.
You know, and anyway, he said, I'm very strongly thinking about giving you a record contract. I want to hear how you do these songs. So I learnt them, and then he rang me up, it'll be end of July, and he said, "Right, your tickets are at Stansted Airport, I'm bringing you over to Dublin, and I'm going to hear you, and if you're good enough, then we make a record." So I said, right. So my dad helped me with my children, he looked after them, he took them to Bognor Ridge to Butlins for a week's holiday. Then I went over, and when I got into this kind of millionaire's house, like, beautiful, and he says, "Right, John, we're on our own. I've got Martin, guitarist here, let me hear you now. Just let me hear you sing." And I just started singing the songs that he wanted me to learn, and he says, "Tomorrow morning," he says, "before we go into any recording studios, we go and see some lawyers and we get some contracts drawn up. And I'm drawing contracts up for a single and 2 albums to make with you." So I couldn't believe it, and then we
That
went
was
into the
all
studio.
very fast, though.
It was,
the
yeah.
whole thing was so fast.
It
Do you
was.
feel as if the whole thing is spinning around your head still? You know.
Well, it is a bit, I suppose, really, because I've been on so many things and done
Yeah.
so much in 12 months. You know, where people have been going for years and years and years and not got a recording contract. You know, and anyway, we made the record and it was fine with all the musicians on it. I came back, then I was asked to go. No, then I went in Me magazine and Hello magazine. Then Woman's, no, get this right now, the Mail on Sunday done a story with me, which came out on You magazine in August. Out of that, UK Living, satellite TV up at Teddington Lock, wanted to do a thing on me, which they did.
Yeah.
Then I went on Sunrise with Sky, and then Meridian TV wanted to do a story on me up at Maidstone. That's where the music come from. And
Did that come from the Meridian thing? Did that come from the Andover connection?
No, it didn't. No. Basically, it come out. The Meridian thing. Well, hard to figure. They just found me. I think really just heard me, and it came on like that because I was on Radio Kent as well again. And now the situation is that I'm lined up to go on Barrymore's show, and Good Morning and This Morning, the magazine programs want me on. I go back to Ireland now in January to make my album, the first album. Then I'm due to fly out to America in February. To do 60 Minutes, a big show over there.
Yeah, it's a huge show over there, isn't it?
It is, you know.
That could be the making of it.
Well, it'd be smashing if it was. I mean, it gives me and the children a great start. I mean, it's been unbelievable. Like you said, it's like a whirlwind, really, the way it's worked.
But especially the fact that your kids
done it for me.
They started the whole thing off.
It's just
this
surprise.
is the main thing about it. And you were totally unaware that they were doing
That's
all
right. I never had a clue. And I mean, to be honest with you, how many? It was odd that she could get right through to the producer.
Yeah.
You know, and she's only 10. And the producer actually took note. Well, it was the producer who had done it, really. She just said, "Could you wish Dad happy Christmas?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Can your dad do anything?" And she just mentioned, because I'm always singing around home and driving them mad with all my songs and that, and ballads and that. Because I love John Denver type of music and all that, country roads and all that. But now it looks like our future. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still a dad. And we still do the washing, cleaning and cooking and all the things that has to go with being a dad.
Well, you haven't got the chauffeur yet, you?
No.
Oh, you
Far
haven't
from
got
that.
The housemaid and all that.
No.
But that might come.
That might
I doubt if you'd enjoy it anyway.
No, I don't think I will.
John, are you going to come back every now and then and tell us how things are progressing?
I'd love to.
Although everybody will know.
Thank you very much.
As soon as you start going on.
That's right.
Because I've heard you singing downstairs unaccompanied.
Yes.
And I thought it was fabulous.
Thank you very much.
You reckon you could do something for us now?
Yes, if you like a song. I don't know what song you'd like me to sing for you. Would you like a bit of Supermarket Wine?
That will be great.
Okay. You'd insist we'd share the driving as we left the city lights in a clapped-out Morris Minor heading west on Friday night, and the heater wasn't working and we never had a spare. But we called that old car Flattery, for it got us everywhere. And when we'd stop to pitch the tent, it always seemed to rain. It was then that I discovered you forgot the pegs again. And I couldn't get that campfire lit no matter how hard I tried. Don't you remember? We had roadside stops for bread and cheese and supermarket wine. When the world was ours, I was yours, and I thought you were mine.
John, thanks very much, and a very happy Christmas to you and to your children as well.
Thank you once again.
I saw a rainbow bleeding in the evening sky, orange and red and indigo and blue, and a gypsy wind crept sadly through the dying leaves, and all of this reminded me of you.
Well, couldn't afford to get him a present, so just wanted to have his name put on telly.
In that wonderland of which you used to sing.
They passed me on to the producer, and she was talking to me, and I said, "Could you wish my dad a happy Christmas?" And she said, "What can your dad do?" And I said, "He can sing."
I'm not used to studios. I've never been in the studio before until I recorded the song. And I try to put as much feeling into the song as I possibly can, which portrays, you know, the fall of Julie Garland and the pressure that she was under.
Sanctified and celluloid, you went your merry way.
I'm still a dad, and I still have to do the washing, the cleaning, the cooking, and all the jobs that goes with being a dad.
Until at last you found fair weather, friends all slip away. You struggle to survive the life you led. Now insubstantial images are all that's left of you.
He's an excellent dad. He helps us with our homework, and he also helps us when we've got problems, and I think it's excellent.
Like mocking laughter on an empty stage. And I wondered, did you find what you were searching for?
I hope that the record will be a success for me, and if it is, then it gives me more chance of getting a better future for the children and myself.
Broken dreams and falling stars, broken hearts and bluebirds' broken wings.
Looking for a mobile phone? Then look no further than the Mobile Phone Shop. The Motorola Classic at the moment is only £49.95, inclusive of VAT and connection. And if you purchase this before Christmas, you will receive £10 worth of free calls per month for 6 months on the low user tariff. So why not come down and see us now at To the Broadway, Andover. That's the Mobile Phone Shop, To the Broadway, Andover. Telephone number 336644. The name has changed, the quality remains. County Flowers, situated in the Chanty Centre. We are pleased to offer a complete floristry service, including a national and international relay. We stock a wide range of fresh-cut flowers, silk and dried sundries, Christmas gifts and basketware. Our professional and friendly staff are at hand to help and advise you. Order now for that something special. Weddings, birthdays, funeral tributes, bouquets and baskets. Or why not give us a call on Andover 345 605.
One of Andover's famous landmarks, the White Hart Hotel in Bridge Street, is now under new ownership. Look out for the opening of Simon's Wine Bar and Restaurant in early December. A large function room is also available. Phone Andover 352266 for details and Christmas bookings.
Well, morning viewers. It's a cold, quite a Christmassy morning this morning. A clear sky, and we're up on the Walworth. It's quite, isn't it? It's quite huffy, Steve.
Huffy?
Huffy. And there's Croydek's over there. We're in Central Way. And this is Lee Filters behind us. And we're going to go meet with Eddie Ruffell, who's the boss here. And we'll find out what Lee Filters do. Well, we know because we're in the industry and they make filters for cameras and, you know, E.T. and all those big movies like Good Morning Kenyans, all these big movies like Superman. Well, they all use camera filters. And to get all those wonderful colours that you see. And there's Steve blowing huff all over me. But anyway, that's what they do. They make all these wonderful filters. And we're going to go and find out exactly how they make them. And wish them all a Merry Christmas from Town TV. So step this way. Do you like my jacket, Steve? It is. It's Bravo jacket. It's quite nice, isn't it? What do you think?
Well, Alan's gone. So it's me. He's gone out to Middle Wallop because there's something happening, UFOs or Santa or something's happening out there. So he got a quick phone call and he had to shoot off. So you got me and Lee Filters and the MD himself, Eddie Ruffell.
Morning.
How you doing, Eddie?
Very well, very well. How are you today?
I'm very well indeed. It's a lovely morning.
It's a beautiful day. Beautiful.
Can we have a chat about the company? Let
pleasure.
people know. Where should we go?
Yes, we can go up to the boardroom if you wish.
Fine, that's great, thanks. Right, we're in the boardroom, Lee Filters now, with Eddie Ruffell. Eddie, how long has this particular bit been built? Because this wasn't here a while ago, was it, this boardroom?
No, this particular part was only built a few years ago. The reason we built it is the front reception of the factory had been standing long before we came here in 1974. And the woodwork, when we stripped back the woodwork to repaint it, we found there was no wood beneath the paint. So the idea was we had to really start again. So the best thing we decided is we needed an executive boardroom where we could hold seminars with local photographers and camera clubs, we felt the best thing to do was to create as much space as we could. So we created a new reception downstairs and had the area on top totally utilised, as you can see here, into this
It's a fine, bright room, though, isn't it? It's ideal for that purpose.
It's perfect for the purpose. It gives you a nice view onto the estate. We're very pleased with it. It's been very functional for us.
What exactly do you do here?
We make lighting filters and camera filters. We started lighting filters first. We came here, as I say, in the last couple of months of 1973. And the lighting filters are in fact used, if you'll watch any of the television programs in colour and you see the coloured backdrops, more often than not you'll be seeing Lee filters, or the effect of Lee filters on lights projected onto those backgrounds.
Okay.
Also, in the film industry, they need filters to match all the different lights that they use to make them all look the same. So they use special filters for that in the film industry, and I'd like to suggest we're probably the world leader in making that particular type of filter. It's used in Shepperton Film Studios, Pinewood Studios, it's used in Hollywood, in Los Angeles. Lee Filters is probably known in virtually every television station and every film set in the world.
You do a lot of travelling around the world. Yourself personally, you do a hell of a lot of travelling, don't you?
Well, yes, one has to do that because the market is so many different far-flung corners of the globe. You have to go there to talk to your agents over there to sort out problems, and also I think it's very good for the customer, the consumer, to actually meet the people from the factory, discuss face-to-face any problems that they might have, or hopefully hear that there's been no problems, and normally we find that's the case.
You do a lot of exhibitions and things as well, don't you?
We do. This year we've had ourselves represented in, as well as London and England, we've been to Holland, France, Germany, Los Angeles, New York. Those are the ones I can think of. There have been some others.
How many people have you got working here?
Here we've got possibly about 75 people.
That many? 75?
Yeah, 75. Yeah.
And was it always that many? I mean, have you built up to this?
Oh, we've built it up to this. I remember when I first came here with the original managing director, there were just the three of us. And it's slowly built up from the lighting filter that it was then into camera filters as well. And that's what's increased the population.
Can we go and have a look at some of the things that's going on and meet some of your staff here?
Yes, with pleasure. If you'd like to follow me.
Thanks.
Shepperton, yes.
Shepperton,
With the improvements being made at the George Inn, Andover has a new venue for great entertainment and excellent food. The George Inn is located in the George Yard just off Andover High Street. So look out for the opening of Oscar's Wine Bar and Restaurant in the early new year. Call Tom or Sandra Lenahan on Andover 336562 for details of forthcoming attractions during the festive season.
Check this out for a chemist. Does your chemist offer you free perfume delivery, free gift wrapping, free film on all developing and printing, free prescription pickup and home delivery? Cooper's the chemist does. So why not call in to 27 High Street, Andover. Telephone 352-400.
And now this week's special offers.
Straight from Beverly Hills in America, fragrance Giorgio in the distinctive yellow and white striped box. From Christian Dior, the new fragrance Tendre Poison. We have Eden, the new fragrance from Cacharel, that's reduced to £15.50, and we have the classic Chanel No. 5, reduced from £36 to £28 for the EDT spray.
Robinson Butchers, the High Street, Stockbridge. Purveyors of high quality meat, game and fish. For all your Christmas requirements, phone 810609. That's Robinson's The Butchers, the High Street, Stockbridge.
Well, the advertiser offices is behind us, and we thought we'd bring you the news from the advertiser, hot off the press. There we are, Steve, population explosion. I mean, you've got nothing to do with that. But Andover's population could soar to over 50,000 in the next 15 years if the county blueprint for housing development is accepted. There we go, that's quite interesting, isn't it? 2,500 to 7,500 new houses added to the town in the first decade of the next century. How about that? Well, yeah, I suppose we could do with a bit more in Andover. But, yeah, quite interesting. Anyway, what else is on the paper? Liberal Democrats celebrate another victory. Flatsburger, Widows Carol singing. That's a bit mean, isn't it? That's from Whitchurch. Let's have a look inside here. Well, there's all sorts of things. I suppose really what you should do is go and buy the Andover Advertiser, I suppose, and have a look at it. Ken Dykes did a very good piece for us a couple of weeks ago. We had loads of response from that. So if you've got a story, you want to ring us on Andover 333-983. That's 333-983. And I dare say Steve will put that up about here. But what he's putting that there, do you like my jacket? Do you like my jacket, Steve? What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty posy, actually.
It's a bit posy. Well, Bravo, look, if I turn around, you can see it. Hang on. The Bravo channel, bless them, up in United Artists, sent me a nice leather jacket for Christmas. I thought that was quite good, because we do a lot of work for them. And so anyway, if you want a present for Christmas, and this is the next link into our Christmas turkey competition. And you can win a Christmas turkey on Town TV if you've got the best Christmas tree in Andover. So, I don't remember last year, Reg Presley went rushing around with Steve in our truck looking for the best Christmas tree in Andover. It's pretty impressive when they're up the high street. That's not bad. There's a few on top of the lampposts, but there's one even on the Danebury. But if you think you've got the best Christmas tree in Andover, all you've got to do is ring us on 333-983, or if you know of somebody who's got the best Christmas tree in Andover, ring 333-983. And what we'll do, we'll come around the bridge, we'll drive around Andover, film a few of your Christmas trees, and the one that wins is going to get a big turkey, and Reg Presley himself will come and present it. Okay, it's not as big as the National Lottery. We're doing our best on Town TV, so that's what we'll do. Reg will come and deliver you a turkey for the best Christmas tree in Andover. So ring 333-983 for your nominations. Okay, take it away, Steve.
That one there, through the hedge. Through the hedge. In the hedge. Good morning.
Oh, that one's...
That's one of those things on the Christmas show.
Oh, right, so it is.
Well, in case people that are sat at home at the present moment are wondering what the hell we're doing curveballing, Steve's just collapsed the chair. There's another one. We're out and about.
Oh, this is that's a nice one.
We're out and about tonight. We're either going to do one of two things. We're going to bang on the door, and there's not going to be anybody in. Hey, it's 51. This is it. This is 51. Mr. and Mrs. We're going to go in and have a look at their Christmas tree. I think is Maggie coming in with us? She's not coming in, surely, is she? She's not coming in with Maggie's not coming in with us. So we're going to go in and have a look at the Christmas tree. So, come on. I don't know whether these things work. You ever notice whenever you go to a door and you push the button, you can never be sure whether it's working because you can't hear it. And I don't know whether you can hear me at the moment because the wind's crossing. I have pressed it, yeah. Oh. That's a really good knocker, isn't it? But, yeah, as I was saying, because we haven't got a woolly sock on our mic, you might be getting a bit of a poor sound quality on it. Aha, here we are. Evening, Town TV. Oh, I really like this. What have we got in some places? It's cold.
Look at your Christmas tree.
Come look at your Christmas, yeah. So that smells nice.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Right, let's
go in and have a look.
Right, here we are up at Andover Portway, and it's Andover against Darrington this afternoon, and we've been playing well lately, and it's really going well. Got some good goal scorers in. They got John Gomshaw, scored 3 last week, and Roger Hunt, he's a centre forward. He's scored about 40 goals this season, I'm told. But Ken Cunningham-Brown seems to be looking after the team really well. So should be quite a good match this afternoon. So here come the referees and linesmen. Anyway, it's not cold.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
This afternoon we welcome Darrington to the Portway Stadium.
9 straight wins in a row in the league.
Yeah.
Hoping to make it 10 today.
Really?
Yeah.
John Gumshaw got 3 last week.
Yeah, terrific hat-trick, yeah. Yeah, very good. Excellent.
So expecting a good result this afternoon?
Well, let's say I'll be very disappointed if we don't win.
Okay. So where are you in the league right now?
We're lying 3rd now.
Oh, well done. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. Well, we'll let you go and watch the match, and we'll catch up with you half time.
Okay, fine.
Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Right, well, as I say, welcome to Andover Portway. We're here this afternoon to cover the football. We're going to be bringing you on Town TV a lot more sport, because I know all you guys out there in Andover, and ladies, don't let's be sexist, a lot of people are really interested in sport. And to that end, we've just got our new sports reporter here. Her name really is Rebecca, but actually she wants to be called Bexta, and she's known by that name, aren't you?
That's right, I'm known as Bexta mainly.
Why have you got an Australian accent?
I've just come back from Australia. I was working over there as a sports coach.
A sports coach, you see, so she's very fit. And anyway, it's Bexta.
That's right, yes.
We'll put it on the screen just about here. Say no, she is. So, so what do you think? What do you think of Andover and its football team?
It's great. I mean, I think it's very well done. I mean, for a small town to have this sort of facilities, I think it's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think mainly every town needs something for the young. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
What sort of things do you want to cover in your weekly sports report?
Well, what I'm wanting to do is, although football is a main priority, especially in every small English town, I also think it'd be quite important to bring in some girls' sports as well, actually.
What, like netball and all that sort of stuff, or
Sure.
boxing?
Not so much boxing, you know, the girls would naturally beat the boys. But yeah, I'm hoping to bring in netball and hockey for girls. But I mean, it really is a case of finding the teams and seeing what they think about it. But I mean, I think it'd be great to sort of cover girls' sports.
Yeah. So there we are, viewers. If you want to write in or ring Bexta on 333 983 333 983. That's Town TV. Town TV. Ring in and let her know what you want to see on Town TV, because we need a lot more sports, don't we?
That's exactly it. I mean, we really want to know what people in Andover are wanting to watch, whether it be boxing or whether it be netball, whatever. We really want to know what you're wanting to see, and we'll see what we can do and see if we can't cover it.
Yeah, we're going to try and bring out a half-hour programme every week on local sports and bring you the results every weekend. So, as I say, if you want to ring or write in to us, just give Bexta a buzz on 333 983.
Great.
Can you remember that number?
I'll certainly try.
333 983.
I'll have to work on that.
Oh, you have to work on that one. Anyway, we'll put it up just about here on the screen. So, all right.
Okay.
So anyway, give Bexta a buzz, and we'll be with you next week somewhere else at some other location. Maybe New Street Football Club or the Rugby Club, but wherever it is, netball, basketball, whatever.
We will certainly try to cover whatever you guys want.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, thanks for watching. Let's go back to the football. Well, there we are. After 24 minutes of the first half, Andover, Paul Hunt scored a great goal there, and I think Ollie the cameraman got that on camera. So anyway, should be pretty good. So Ollie, the match. Oh, nice pass there, number 7. Yeah, Andover just gradually wearing their opponents down by the looks of it, but starting to play really well now after sort of a bit of a shaky start, but they seem to be going really quite well now. As Ken Cunningham Brown said, Andover now are 3rd in the league, and playing very well indeed. Oh yeah, really going for it now, number 11 there. Oh, never mind. Okay, well, Town TV have got to go now, but it's been a great result for Andover. Absolutely fantastic. And we'll be putting the final score up on the screen right here. So what do you think of the match? Pretty good, wasn't it?
I think it's been fantastic. A lot of effort has gone in today. I've been getting quite excited, actually, during
Have you been jumping up and down?
I've been having a ball today. I might just come and watch them again, actually. But yeah, really good effort.
Yeah.
Did very, very well.
Great.
Yeah.
Ken Cunningham Brown's obviously doing a really good job as boss.
Yeah, well, he seems to be very relaxed over there behind Ollie. But yes, I think he's quite proud of his team today.
Yeah.
I think the record is 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're trying to match that today. I'm not entirely sure if they are, but good luck to them. I hope they do it.
Okay. Well, brilliant. There we are. Town TV signing off from Andover Football Club. So we'll see you next week, and hopefully you'll find something nice to report on for next week.
Yeah, bye for now. See you next week.
Okay, thanks for watching.